The show Cops is set to start filming on the streets of Fort Myers next week. City leaders approved this project last month, but not without naysayers. Lee County Commissioner Cecil Pendergrass sent this letter to the council questioning the move. Mike News reporter Michelle Kingston's in downtown Fort Myers tonight with more.
We don't know when the show will air, but we do know that filming will begin next week, and that has people talking. The show Cops will be returning to Fort Myers next week, and while some people think it's a bad idea,
it just brings bad publicity to the town. It's such a cool town, and then the beach and have all the tourists, good areas. You don't want to put a bad name on a town like that.
Others are looking forward to seeing the show.
Just to see what they do every day and see what goes on all day long. Be interesting.
Cops filmed in Lee County multiple times in the past, most recently in 2015, and they're coming back for more.
I had preconceived notions. I thought, geez, that's not the way we want to see our city depicted, and the way of violent crime and what we're doing behind the scenes in law enforcement. This isn't a game.
Fort Myers Mayor Randy Henderson was against the film crew coming to the city of Palms, which has seen its share of crime over the years, with ZombieCon and Club Blue. But the mayor changed his mind after hearing Police Chief Derek Diggs, who spoke at a city council meeting last month and said having the show in town could be good for transparency.
It is good for morale. It gives our FMPD an opportunity to be highlighted for good police work. It shows criminals that we're not going to mess around.
Now, we asked the city if we could go along for the filming next week, but they said no media will be allowed. In downtown tonight, Michelle Kingston, Wink News Now.
Good riddance. Fox cancels long-running, drug war glorifying, abuse-excusing reality series Cops after a 25-year run valorizing America's police forces to the thumping reggae pulse of inner circle's bad boys. Fox has canceled its weekly reality TV series Cops. To which we should say, good riddance. Yes, the show is being picked up by all things manly cable network Spike TV. But critics of the increasing militarization of American police should celebrate nevertheless. The long-running series will no longer air its highly selective take on policing to as large an audience as Fox's Saturday night lineup. Of all the police reality shows available for viewing today, Cops may actually be the most tolerable. Unlike its cop shows on steroid successors, Cops often did a good job depicting the monotonies of police beat work and the oddities of dealing with some of the more bizarre domestic disputes. That being said, the show's legacy is one of glorifying and overlooking abuse through a highly selective, heavily edited depiction of reality. As part of its 25-year-long weekly reveling in the humiliation of perps and victims alike, Cops provided a cringe-worthy dose of schadenfreude for those who enjoy hearty laughter at tatted and toothless caricatures being taken to task by virtuous, cowboy-like heroes. Viewers with a more skeptical eye, however, might recoil at police officers bragging about tasing a man or the weekly knee in the back of a minority teenager for the victimless crime of carrying a bag of marijuana. Yes, there are many violent crimes broken up by the hardworking police officers shown on Cops, with plenty of gracious victims being helped. But for every breaking up of domestic violence, there are embarrassing displays of arrogance. Cops' turning of serious matters into cheap entertainment has often been coupled with the willful neglect of serious issues like police misconduct and civil rights. Speaking with the American Conservative earlier this year, retired LAPD Deputy Chief Stephen Downing said of the show, "Hey, show officers violating the Fourth Amendment routinely, manhandling people, not employing the escalation/de-escalation concepts of the use of force." He continued, "The public is conditioned to believe that it is okay for our police to behave in this manner. They see it in fictional movies and television and they see it on Cops, so it must be okay, until they are on the receiving end and personally experience what it is like to be the victim of police misconduct." The fantastic AMCON dissection of the show continued with more insight from Downing. Cops might have set out to paint a sympathetic portrait of today's police force, but what the average viewer encounters today is rampant arrogance and thinly veiled contempt for suspects and even victims, whom the officers repeatedly refer to as Buddy and Hun, while serving up patronizing mini-lectures for the benefit of the audience. In an effort to appear hardened, they come off as unprofessional and imperious as they ham it up for the viewers. Another issue with cops is how little we know about what didn't make it onto the air every Saturday night. Police departments are given full control over what footage makes it to the public, and that undoubtedly includes the nixing of clips that show officers engaging in negligent mistakes, incompetent behavior, the circumventing of procedural guidelines, etc. It's no surprise that we'll never get to see the footage of Annie's first 48 hours SWAT officers barreling through a door and fatally shooting a 7-year-old Detroit girl with a flash grenade. While shows like Cops paint a blissfully black and white image of good cops/bad perps, any legal expert will tell you they are far from a fair glimpse at police work. The show's legacy also includes the hyping of a stereotype that young Hispanic and black males ought to be viewed with suspicion. Unsurprisingly, a 2002 study found that cops and other reality programs somehow improve the attitudes of whites and males towards the police, while worsening the attitudes among blacks. Upon hearing the news that Fox had canceled the show, activist group Color of Change applauded the decision as a knock against shows that make their bank exploiting persistent dehumanizing stereotypes that marginalize black Americans. Of course, while Cops may now be relegated to the niche network dustbin, there exists plenty of other cringeworthy reality shows for people to get their juiced up yeah, Cops fixings. Greater than follow Andrew KIRL at Andrew KIRL on Twitter. Have a tip we should know? Tips@mediate.com